All right, how you doing? This is Ed Gray Commercial Radio Show and SMU. SMU, pony up, pony up. I just happened to get lucky here because as I was looking at the Overton Cemetery, they are about to go ahead and put some apartments up right behind me. I'm gonna go over here to where you see those apartments way in the back. Those are Southern Oaks apartments. I used to live in those back in the 1960s.
Are you recording?
I'm recording now. You're good. You good. You good. You good. I used to live in those apartments right back over there.
They used to be all.
Yeah, all through there. I'm gonna tell you where your fence line is at.
That's where it was full all the way.
Yeah, that's where it was full. It was a trash can that was right there on the other side of where that white building is there, and right beyond that was the second floor of 3234 Southern Oaks. That was my apartment. Yep. Thank you. I appreciate it. And this gentleman he's not on film, but you were telling me a rainstorm came along and knocked that tree down?
Uh-huh.
And you guys cleaned this stuff up? It was really brushy out here, huh?
Yeah, it was completely like this. And we just donated labor.
Well, that's good.
That's a few days to get it cleaned up where you could at least walk it.
As a little boy, I remember seeing people actually have picnics off in here. Yep. I'm gonna walk off in here. I haven't been in here since 1970. Thank you for opening the gate. Wow, something else. Haven't been in here in years. Let's see what we have here. I'll read it. Well, you can read for yourself, but I'll read it as well. The Overton Cemetery is located near the site of William Perry Overton's home, built in 1853-54, on land originally a portion of the McFarland survey. McFarland received the bounty land from the Republic of Texas for its participation in the war with Mexico. Wow. And assigned his patent to John Noble. North Carolina native Aaron Overton, 1784-1860. Old man Overton. Or as people back then that were my color would call him, Massa Overton. And his sons Caswell and William Perry, who died in 1903, born 1823, were among the first to come to this area, settling on the west side of the Trinity River in 1844. First family member buried in this cemetery was Lizzie Overton, who died in 1870. And 100 years later, I was here at this same property, playing in the front of my apartment building, playing football. This is crazy. This is wild. Henry C. Davis died 1889, was also buried here after being struck by a train on nearby railroad tracks. That would be further down this way, down that way, railroad tracks down that way where Village Oaks apartments are at. All right, and then they had this gentleman, Dr. Sukahara, 1873 to 1928, who's buried here. And we have 3 Confederate veterans who are being cared for by the family that were buried here in unmarked graves. That's about where we're at right now. Unmarked graves. There's a grave here. And there's a tombstone that someone knocked over. People used to play back here. They used to knock down tombstones and that kind of thing. Can't read it. Yeah, when I was a little boy, the trees weren't as grown up as they're grown now. From my second floor window, I could look over here in the graveyard. And what was unique about that was the apartment complex I lived in was a African-American apartment complex. And the people that I saw on the other side of the fence line were white. And on the other side of Overton, they were white as well. But people would come here, the white folks would come here, and they would have picnics here. I just moved some of the brush away from it. I'm not able to see it totally. Very brushy here. Now, my hope and concern that the dead need respect, even though a lot of African American cemeteries are not kept up. In some places, they've actually ran over graves. If you ever been on Central Expressway, well, that would be one of the spots where African Americans were buried at that they just paved over. Yep, that's right, Central Expressway. Tombstone knocked over. So my assumption is that all of these tombstones, William Overton right here, another one here. Check that one out. Martha Overton, May 8th, 1828. Died November 10th, 1884. She saw the Civil War and all that. Here he is, himself. Says pioneer W. Perry Overton. The Overton family. Now, this obviously was a great monument. Go all the way back, step back, all the way back. Get it all, man, get it all. Don't fall, don't fall. There you go. They obviously had a lot of money. Well, you have to if you have a street named after you, a whole community named after you. So nobody takes care of this except the Overton family. And, well, there we are. Jesse Overton. (1845 to 1928). Yeah, you check that out, 1845. When Texas was a republic. When they talked about the war, they were talking about the Mexican-American War. Now, that little section over there, that's probably unmarked graves there as well. Kind of tell by the way the indentions are in the property. Got lucky. Just let me in. Well, I guess that happens when you wear a suit all the time. Another Overton family. (1938). So the Overtons, when I was a kid, they still came here. We'll go all the way to the back. And look over. Now I know somebody's gonna ask a question, as they always do. When it's a black thing, it's a white thing, where are the black people at? Well, they're not here, okay, because this is where the Overton family were actually buried their relatives in this location. Now, if there were any slaves that were here, they would have been buried, on the other side of that. But we don't have no evidence of that happening, so we can't say that. But what we can say is that Overton and his family were very prosperous, and for us to realize what happened in Dallas, we have to go back in time, even back in time to a time in which we were degraded and thought as property, to see how far we've come and how far we got to go. And that's what my journey is about, is making sure that other people see, as Marvin Gaye once said, what's going on. That being said, I'm going to walk from the past and walk back into the present, and maybe possibly the future. Been a long time since I've seen any of this. As I said before, I used to see this when I was a kid. And I'm into my 60s now. In the past that I once had, well, you always have that. But it was kind of fun looking back and seeing, well, right over there, Southern Oaks. See you guys later.